It's cold as balls outside. Oh, hey, Tasha, how's it going?
Hi. It's cold right now.
It is cold right now. I am currently under a blanket.
Me too.
Well, aren't you special?
I am.
So, I had something that I wanted to say. Um, and I'm going to come off as a real Joe Ja right now. I already know. Those are my new pronouns, Joe Ja. It's for Joja, jerk off, jackass. Um, so you're not going to identify with this because you've been married for 72 years. But I was going to ask if this has ever been a thing. Have you ever been talking to someone, like on the phone or via text or whatever? And obviously, like I said, this is not going to be relatable to you. But then you start kind of developing feelings for them, through like the messages, or the phone conversation. You're like, you know what? Yeah, I really get along with this person. I really identify with them, and we connect. The conversation's going great, but then you see them again, and you're like, nah, never mind. Nope, fuck that. Nope. I think I was thinking about somebody else.
So,
No.
no. You already knew.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, those are my new pronouns, Joja.
Wherever did you hear those pronouns?
I came up with them the other night when I was thinking about this theory that I had or whatever.
Jeez.
I was like, those are my new pronouns, Joja. I'm gonna run them by and do some stand up or something. See how they play.
See how the public receives them?
Yeah.
Nice.
So how was your week?
I was about to ask you the same thing. My week was poo. Of course,
Yeah.
the house is passing around sickness, and it happened to be the flu.
Would you say
And
you
that,
guys are down with the sickness?
shut up. But yeah, I would say that we are down. At least two of us are down right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nesto is going through the flu, and my dad. Oh, three of us, and Julian.
Mm.
Yeah, we're
Yeah, you
babies.
already had yours, so
I did. I
sounds
still
like you're
have a
still not quite
little,
over it. Yeah.
yeah, a little bit congested, a little bit of a cough, but not nearly as bad as earlier this week. It was terrible.
A little bit congested, a little bit of a cough, a little bit of stigmata. It's all good.
What the fuck is a stigmata?
You don't know what the stigmata? Okay, well I forgot you're not. You
Ancient?
didn't grow up Catholic or religious. The
Oh.
stigmata, it's when someone basically develops the wounds of Jesus, and they bleed from their palms and bleed from their toes or
Oh.
their feet. Some people say they also cry blood. So yeah,
No, that makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah, none of that, thankfully.
Mm.
Just from the nose. It was the weirdest nosebleed, too. Because it started last night. I mean, it's not. It's like, I think it's residual right now.
Residual nosebleed.
Yeah.
That was my nickname in high school.
Oh.
uh,
Man. Oh, aside from that, I watched so many movies
oh yeah.
since we last talked. A lot of them I rewatched. I rewatched Forgetting Sarah Marshall because I haven't seen that in years.
It's a good movie.
And what's it called? The Other Guys.
Oh yeah.
Had Alice watch that one with me. And then what else did I rewatch? Role Models.
Uh, they added the movie Good Boys on the Netflix recently.
Yeah, I saw that.
I started rewatching that. That was good.
Hmm. I almost started rewatching it. Almost. But then I opted for dumb rom-coms, like the ones with, what is that guy's name? He's like a little guy, sings a lot. Not Jack
Danny
Black.
DeVito. Oh.
No.
You said little guy. As Peter Dinklage.
Adam Devine.
Oh, he's not a little guy. I mean, I guess he's smaller, but he's not a
He's
little guy.
small. That's what I'm Googling it.
Yeah, but I was thinking about Peter Dinklage and Danny DeVito. Like,
No, not
those are
that.
small guys.
Yeah, not that small. I guess
Yeah.
he's 5'8". Damn. He looks so short. But I guess it's just the Hollywood actresses
Yeah.
towering him.
Everybody else is just taller than he is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's taller than Kevin Hart though. So
Yep. Yep, he is.
I think Kevin Hart's only like 5'5" or something like that.
I think so too. Yeah, 5'2".
Mm. Oh, Jesus. He's a lot smaller than I thought he was.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nothing against small, short guys, but still.
Yeah. Nothing against them. But, how's the weather down there?
Yeah, I'm short.
You just walk around smelling farts all day because you're on butt level. So, going back to how our weeks were. So, my week, it was okay, but I was voluntold to be a designated driver on New Year's for
Oh.
my brother and sister. Uh,
Oh. How was
yeah,
that?
my sister, she texts me. She says, "Hey, will you pick me and my kids up and bring me over to your house on New Year's?" And I said, "Yeah, that sounds fine." And then she's like, "Can you also take me home?" And I said, "Well, uh, I hmm." And then, like a few minutes later, she was like, "Oh, and could you pick up your brother as well?" Which is, not the same, like not her husband, like our actual brother. Um,
Yeah.
and I was like, I suppose I got to take him home too, huh? And she was like, "Yeah." I was like, it's crazy that basically I'm being told that I can't get drunk in my own house because I have to take everyone else home. Everyone's coming
Yeah.
to my house to get fucked up, and then I have to take them home too.
Damn. Yeah, you
Yeah,
you drew the short end.
yeah, it's all right though. I did it.
Did you have a good New Year's?
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, it's. I'm so old now. It's so uneventful. Like, it's like, oh, cool. It's the next year. Sweet. And I went right back to like watching videos.
I was barely conscious on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I was like a
I
zombie.
was I was fully aware of everything that was going on around me.
Yeah, I spent it with fever and chills, and so I was in and out of sleepy.
Oh yeah.
And so yeah, it
So,
was the first New Year's and I've been that sick. So it
so
had to be better than that.
one of the funny things that did happen is my mom decided she wanted to play Monopoly with my
Ooh.
brother, and my sister and one of my sister's girls, so my niece. And they're sitting there playing. My niece, she's like 15. And at one point I hear her yell out, "I hope Brandon goes to jail." Brandon is my brother.
Yeah.
And from the living room, I just went, "Wouldn't be the first time." And he just goes, "Shut up, man." And then my niece, without missing a beat, goes, "Probably not the last either."
That's messed up.
Yeah, it's funny
That's
though.
funny. Yeah, that's funny.
All right, are you ready to get into it?
I am.
All right, well, hit him with the intro, Tasha.
Welcome to What M Dreams. I'm one of your hosts, Tasha, and I'm here with,
Dustin.
and we're here to talk to you about dreams. Dreams, dreams, dreams.
No, no, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, so I only had one dream that I can really remember this week. Other than that, I have been devoid of the dreams.
Is it that one you texted me about?
Yes, yes, it is. It will mean absolutely nothing to anyone except for me and the two people that were in the dream, but it's
Oh,
also
not that
super
one.
uninteresting.
I thought
Oh,
you meant the other one.
did I text you about another dream?
Ubering on a moped.
Did I not talk about that one already?
I don't think so. We haven't recorded since before then.
Oh, well, then I've had two dreams in that case. Okay, so we'll start with the one that you were just talking about. I was working as an Uber driver still, but I was, for some reason, driving a moped. I've never driven a moped. Never in my life. I don't even like riding a bike. And I get a call to go pick up a guy. And when I pull into like the apartment complex, I see this guy come downstairs in what could only be described as full rock climbing gear. Like
Oh,
he's decked out to the nines. And as he gets on, he starts telling me that he's he's been in a coma for several years, and he had a rock climbing accident, and that he was eager to get back out there, but the doctors and everyone else said he wasn't ready yet. But he was going to prove them wrong.
yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, does anyone know where you are? Does anyone know that you're going out to do this? Are you going to have safety equipment? Like, do you have people that will know?" And he was like, nah. If anybody knows, they're going to try to stop me. I was like, maybe that's a good thing that they stop you. And he was like, no. He gets on the back of the moped, and like we're driving away, and it kind of cuts to like one of those like montages of still frames,
Yeah.
and there's like a voiceover where it's like, he was not okay. They would get into an accident on the way to the rock climbing thing. And I was just like, what? And it was like, it was
Mm.
stills of him like holding on to me and my face going, "Oh my God." Like, it was so ridiculous. Yeah.
Damn.
That was when I woke up, though.
What a weird dream.
It was a weird dream, and the part to me that was the weirdest was the transition of like this was all like a documentary that you were watching or whatever.
That's funny.
Yeah, I never know with my dreams, man.
Yeah, how you explained it in text was not as funny.
Yeah, I told you it was gonna be very funny
Yeah,
the way that it
but
actually happened.
yeah, in your text it was like, damn, that's dark.
Yeah, yeah. No, it
Oh
like it
shit.
like cut to black and white and everything. It was just like black and white stills from a color dream to black and white stills, and it was just like they
Jeez.
did not make it.
Alright, so I guess I'll talk
So,
about this that one epic dream that I texted you about.
all right.
I titled it The Last Human.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm. So in this dream, I seemed to be teaching a group of children the things that make us human. And to teach them, I was placing in a basket in front of them different objects that represented natural things only humans can feel, like the touch of air, earth, food, water, etc. And eventually, one side of the basket was full of things. And then I went on to explain to the kiddos that there's other things that we can't touch or see that make us human. So, things like feelings, love, hate, anger, faith, etc. And that side was empty, but still there. And the
Hmm.
kids were like eating it up. They loved it. They were very engaged, like little kindergartners. This felt in my dream,
Look
it
at
felt
you.
like,
Look
I
at you.
know,
Even in your dream, being a good teacher.
impacting the youth in my dreams. You're welcome, society. Okay, anyways, this felt like a lesson that had been taught before, not just by me, but for many other people for many years after the last human revived us all. And then when I mentioned that to the kiddos, they were like, tell me the story of how the lady human saved us. Or, not the lady human. I typed it lady human. But I meant to say last human. Tell us the story of how the last human saved us. And I, of course, gave in. So I started to tell them the story in my dream, as I had told it many times before. So in the dream, this is where it became more like a film, because as I was telling this story, the images in my head were like a transition to a flashback
Yeah.
to that instance of the last human. So, but the flashback version was a sped up version, and it didn't make sense. Kind of like mythology doesn't make sense. So, um, and I compared it to the opening scene in Hercules, where the three muses are like back when the world was new, and then they did this whole sped up cartoon version of the beginning of the world. That's
Yeah.
the vibe. That's the vibe my dream had in this story, The Last Human. So, in my dream flashback, I could hear me narrating. I was telling the story, and um, here's what I said. The last human was on the run from AI robots. Above him flew a ship controlled by AI that could pinpoint his location from the air and target him and destroy him. In the water swam a ship controlled by AI that could target and destroy him if he set foot in water. On land, he could not escape either because there was a land roving AI robot that ate 1,000 floor buildings one by one and could find and eat the building he was in. So The last human took shelter. He was running away from all of those robots, and he took shelter in a small, old, inconspicuous tower. It was below all the rest of the towers, because in this world, the world was full of like skyscrapers.
Mhm.
No more open natural land left, like forests and woodlands and deserts. It was all cities. So while all the AI searched for the last human in the air, in the sea, on the land, the last human in this tower swallowed the last human seed. I just realized how that sounded.
It sounds disgusting. Go ahead.
So he swallowed air, he swallowed water, fire, earth, love, hate, anger, happiness, sadness, and from all those things, we humans were reborn and grew like the roots of a tree. And before the AI knew it, there were enough humans again to reclaim the earth and tend to her. And that's all I remember from that dream. So it
It sounds really
was,
cool though.
it was, it was my
Like,
most comprehensible sci-fi dream.
I mean, it does sound like something that would be in a movie,
Yeah,
like in some kind of post-apocalyptic, you know, sci-fi I Am Legend type movie.
yeah, man.
I wonder who would be cast as the last human.
Ooh,
Do you
well,
picture
not
it being male or female?
male.
Hmm. Okay. It'd be Jack Black then. I'm
Perfect.
kidding. My other dream that I had was the other one that I was talking about earlier. I was at a club with one of my old bosses, um, and some other girl that was supposed to be my girlfriend in the dream, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know who she is. Like in the dream, I was like, "Oh yeah, you're my girlfriend." Yeah, duh. But she was not anybody I've ever met.
Okay.
Um,
One of those.
yeah, exactly. And so like we're hanging out, and then all of a sudden I see this other guy that I used to work with that I currently play like Xbox video games with all the time.
Hmm.
He walked in. Here's the weird part about the dream is that they don't talk to each other anymore. They, you know, they haven't talked to each other in over 10 years.
Dang.
Um, and for some reason in the dream, like they saw each other, they kind of started hanging out for a minute, and then I lost track of them. I don't know where they went. And
Okay.
me and my girlfriend had left, and then I got a text from my old boss saying, "Hey, let's meet for lunch tomorrow." And I said, "Okay, cool." And then the next day in the dream, I go meet her for lunch, and we're talking, and she's telling me how she's going to meet that guy here at this restaurant
Hmm.
a little later because they have an important meeting. And I was like, "An important meeting about what? You just saw him for the first time last night. Like, what could you possibly have a meeting about?" And and then he walks in with some Hispanic girl, uh, and they go and sit down at a table, and she goes, "All right, it's time for my meeting. I gotta go." So she gets up from the table and she goes over and sits down with them, and I got up and left. And the whole time in the dream, I was thinking, what could that meeting be about? What what could they possibly have to be meeting about? And that's it. That was the whole dream.
It left
I
you with
told
more
both of them.
questions than answers, huh?
Yeah, and I told both of them about it. And the guy, when I told him about it, he said, "Sounds like I was doing pretty well. I was meeting with two women." And I was like, "Really?" And then the my old boss, she's like, when I told her who it was, she was like, "Did I kill him?" I was like, "No, no, you didn't kill him.
And that was the
Chill out."
important meeting.
Right.
She was an assassinator.
Something.
Assassinator? Assassin.
Yep. I was gonna let it go because I wasn't gonna be like, "You dummy," you know. Because I'm nice. I'm nice like that, and you
Uh-huh.
know, I don't call attention to those types of things.
All right, Joja.
That's gonna really catch on.
You might have made it a thing.
I hope so.
All right, so I had a dream
I'll just start
last.
whispering. Saying
Shut up!
it.
It sounds creepy. Stop it.
I don't like ASMR. It gets on my
Really?
nerves so much. Really.
Yeah, I don't watch those kinds of ASMR. I watch like journaling ASMR, painting ASMR.
I think the only thing I like is like the sound of typing. For some reason, the sound of typing I like.
Yeah, I figured that out about myself earlier this year, and I got one of those like typewriter keyboard thingies for school,
Yeah.
and like I think it was after some break that I had gotten it, and my kids were like, "Ooh, we like your keyboard, Miss." It's all clickety clacky, and also it lights up.
Oh, that's
Okay,
cool.
it has like different lighting effects for anytime you touch a key, so it's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so the dream I want to talk about next is Green Horse Pet. It's very brief.
Okay.
Green Horse Pet, that's what I titled it. So, in this dream, I remember being in a field, an open field. It was sunny. The wind was blowing, but not harshly, so it was a nice day. And I had a pet horse. And it was completely normal for this horse to be green, like peacock green in my dream.
Okay.
Like it even took on the sheen of peacock feathers. And
Nice.
each of the it was almost like it was covered in feathers because it had like the little, the dot that's in the middle of a peacock feather.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had those all over its body. And so it was just a nice day. I was hanging out with my pet horse and like brushing him, and that's all I remember from that dream.
It sounds pretty AF.
Yeah, it
I
was.
I want to get a horse now and just stick him like with feathers all over.
That'd be awful.
He's like, shh, shh, shh. It's okay. It's okay. You like this.
You're gonna be
He's like,
pretty. Yeah, it was a nice little amuse bouche of a dream, if you will.
oh, I don't know what that means, so I don't know if you use that right.
I don't know what it directly translates to, but it's it's not even an appetizer. It's like a small, tiny
Sampler?
bite. Yeah, kind of like a sampler. They do it in like fancy restaurants, where it's just like
Yeah.
it's it's supposed to fit all in one bite in your mouth. So that's it.
Okay.
And amused.
You could be completely wrong and I wouldn't know.
I know I could have made up something off the wall,
Yeah, you could have.
but I didn't.
All right, Frenchie. Move on.
All All right, and I had another dream I want to talk about that I titled "Babysit Key Note," and I think I texted Ness. Okay, so in this dream, um, I was trying to give back a key, a spare key that someone had loaned me, or or not my babysitter, that I had been loaned because I was the babysitter. Um, and for some reason, the baby I was babysitting was in of the house that I was supposed to be babysitting in at, but it was locked. Like the house was locked, and so I was trying to access the baby for one, and then two, I was trying to return this key because I didn't need it anymore, and I didn't want to be walking around with somebody else's key. So I spent a good amount of time in the dream just trying to open the door, like
All
jiggling the
right.
handle and freaking inserting the key just right was a struggle. Like I feel like it took forever in the dream, but I finally got it got it opened up, and as soon as I got it opened up, the owner started walking around the corner. Not the woman of the house, but the man of the house. He started walking around
Yeah.
the corner, and he just started shaking his head at me. He was like, "No, no," and he held out his he held out his hand for the key. So it was like he was disapproving of me still having this key. He's like, "You shouldn't." He the way he said no, it was like, "You shouldn't have this key anymore." That's what he was saying to me. He's like, it's not appropriate for you to have this key. No. And I was like, I felt chastised. I felt
As you said.
I felt like a little kid. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was just trying to return it. I was trying to explain myself. But he didn't listen to me at all. He just like, no. And as soon as he got the key, he started walking away from me into the house. And so
No.
for the rest of the dream, he went out of eyesight. I don't know where he went in the house, but for the rest of the dream, um, I was there in the house trying to write a note to the owners that explaining myself. Like I was only returning the key. I wasn't planning on keeping it. Like also your baby was inside and the house was locked, so that's weird. So I was trying to like write the perfect note, and like it was draft after draft, and I kept throwing away the the note because it wasn't written just right. And yeah, so and my dog was in there for some reason too.
Hmm. Which one?
So I don't remember. I just know it was one of
Oh,
them.
okay.
So I kept trying to explain to them in the note that the only reason I unlocked her house was because I needed to get my kid, or not my kid, to their kid, and I needed to get my dog back that was inside. So eventually, after many, many drafts and a lot of time and sweat and stress spent about this stupid letter, I just gave up and left the key without a note. It was dumb. That one was dumb.
It was certainly something. I don't know about dumb, but like the whole thing about you feeling like you were chastised like a child made me laugh though, because it just like I can see you reacting like, oh, um, okay, you know, like, um, oops.
Yeah, man. I did not like that feeling. All right, so I had another dream that I think will probably be fast, but in the dream I feel like lasted a long time. But I titled it. Wait, what did I title it? I titled it something about raw milk.
Raw milk murders.
Raw milk murders.
Yeah.
That was fucking wild. Okay, so I had dreamt it was storming outside, and I was at school, and I was like attending school as a student, as a like high school student, and so it was thundering, lightning outside, and our class is on the second floor. And I remember the storm getting so bad that we had to go into like um shelter in place, which is like the procedure to do if there's like a big storm
Like a
in school.
tornado.
Yeah, like a tornado. So we all had to exit our classroom and go downstairs. So as we were doing that, I remember somebody, some kid who was excited about having people try this milk that he that he brought to school. And he was like passing it around, getting people to drink it, and um it took a while. So as we were sheltering, everybody was drinking this milk. Not me, just most of our classmates. And eventually he ended up drinking some too. And I'm pretty sure it was goat's milk. Raw goat's milk. So, anyways, it turned out terribly because for some reason after the storm ended, we all started going outside into like the courtyard area. I don't know what that was about, but we went outside and we were all standing in a courtyard, and then someone started like profusely puking,
Uh-oh.
and it was all the milk plus everything else, and it just left them dead. And
Oh.
we are like, oh shit. And then people started going down like flies, doing the same exact thing, and it was everywhere where people were just like puking their guts out and then dying. And in
Well,
my
that
dream,
sounds like a lot of fun.
no, I was fucking horrified. Not only because of the puke, but also because dying? Dying?
I was gonna say, two of your least favorite things, puke and dying.
I know. Like, what is that? And yeah, and the poor guy who had given everybody this raw milk, like, he seemed to genuinely not have known that this is going to happen. And he was like hysterically crying and like um pleading with everyone, like, don't die essentially. And he was also like panicking because he also had drank it as well. And yeah, it ended up happening. He ended up puking and dying too, and it was fucking awful.
And then you were the only one left because you didn't drink it.
Yeah, as far as I remember anyway. That's all I remember that dream.
It's like a, it's like an allegory for like today's society. Don't drink the milk. You know, like the don't drink the Kool-Aid type thing. Don't drink the
Only,
milk of today's society. You're
yeah,
gonna wind
man.
up throwing everything up and dying.
I think that's a little deeper than it was, yeah. But
Yeah, probably. I wonder why milk though. Like, I wonder why you dreamed about milk.
I think it's because lately being lactose intolerant has been on my mind.
Are you lactose intolerant?
Yeah, I think so. I think,
Lactose intolerance.
yeah, I think Nesto has been for a while too.
I don't think I am, but I don't know. I might be. It's not gonna stop me from drinking milk though.
Yeah, I still, you know, do dairy-based products occasionally.
Yeah.
Like a little cheese doesn't really hurt,
So much cheese.
knock on wood. But like ice cream will fuck me up, and
I eat the fuck out of some cheese and some ice cream.
ice cream will fuck me up, and sometimes cereal will too. So,
I put cheese on my ice cream.
and I used to do milk as a base for my hot chocolate, but I don't do that
Yeah,
anymore.
I do.
But I tried almond milk for the first time as a base for hot chocolate, and it was not
Get that
bad.
shit out of here.
Huh?
So get that shit out of here. Almond milk.
Almond milk.
It's just nut milk. You don't want nut milk. Listen to how it sounds, nut milk.
Shut up. That does sound
Gross.
unappealing.
Yeah, exactly. Oat milk. Try that.
I've tried oat milk. I don't like that it can get globby.
How dare you? You know what? Real milk can get globby too. So
Yeah, gross.
I drank it one time when it was globby.
Ew.
Yeah, it was
And
not. It was not pleasant.
all
Actually, want
right.
to.
Yeah, I do. I want to talk about one I called Storm Ghost Chills.
All right.
This one started a lot like Raw Milk Murders, where there was a storm.
It was a dark and stormy night.
It was a dark and stormy night. For some reason, it was another high school. I was also a student, and a couple of the teachers at the high school currently, like in real life, were teachers. Like one of them was my teacher, and another was another class's teacher, and we had to evacuate our classrooms because of a storm. And we went downstairs again to shelter. But it was nighttime, so that was. But I remember while we were sheltering this time, we got to like talk to classmates and the people from the other class. And I remember
Yeah.
everybody talking. Everybody around me were talking except for one other girl. So it was me and this one other girl who were not talking to anyone. She had like this whole goth, mysterious vibe going on. And I was just minding my own business. I guess I wasn't friends with anybody in my dream. But
That doesn't sound like you.
no, it doesn't. But what's weird is the storm was over, so we're going to be released to a courtyard, and we're walking out. I happened to be walking next to the girl, and we were both approached by another girl who seemed pretty friendly. And she started talking to us. I don't remember what she said to us, but a weird detail I do remember is that she was wearing like pastel colored clothing. And so yeah, she was the only person who was like talking to me and to the other girl. So we walked out, and right before we're walking out of the door into the courtyard, the girl passed us both a note, and we read it together, and it said that you two are the only two who can see me. And then so I looked up at the girl, and she looked up at me, and then we both looked back for the girl in the pastel colors we had been talking to, and she was gone. She was freaking gone. Okay, so we walked out into the courtyard, and I was like, "Oh shit, I just got the chills." And in my dream, I was showing her my goosebumps on my arms, and that's all I remember from that dream. No, I do remember waking up that night, and I was cold.
Damn it! You like? I want to know more about this ghost.
I know, right? She seemed friendly enough, but why us?
And why at the school?
Yeah, we were kind of like laughing about it, like being the only. one's able to see this person, you're like, oh shit, we're either fucking crazy or
Well,
we're
that's a good
like,
possibility.
what's it called? Me. You.
So not lights.
What? Shut up. She- It's like lights. I heard about lights and paranormal activities. Lights. You jerk.
Well, I mean, you get.
Yeah, that's all I remember from that dream.
I mean, do you remember what she looked like other than the pastel colors?
Uh, long pink and no.
Oh, okay. Well, damn, Tasha.
It was. I woke up scared. Like I was chilled, scared. No, in telling you about it, it doesn't seem that scary.
No.
But I felt really scared.
Part of that has to be that you have trouble during dreams discerning what's real and what isn't. I
Yeah.
mean, so to you, waking up, you were like, oh my God, that was so real. You were like, I really had an encounter with a ghost.
Yeah.
Ooh, what if, what if that's a ghost that actually lives in your house? And she was just like in your dream going, hey,
I'm
look,
here.
this is who I am. Yeah,
Ugh, stop it.
you need a Ouija board.
No. First off,
Did you
Ernesto would kill me.
did you see that video I sent you? There's a cartoon with the guy, uh, like in a Ouija board, and he's trying to
No.
contact the girl. And he said something, and the ghost of the female said "dead ass," and he goes, "That's what I'm here for," like that. And
Oh
then
my
she
god.
she responded by making it say, "The ghost you were trying to reach uh, has blocked you or whatever." He goes, "Damn, how'd I get it blocked on the Ouija board?"
It's dumb. It's funny though. That's funny though.
I sent it to Nesto also, but of course, I might as well have just sent it to the moon at that point.
I think I had one other dream, but I don't really remember anything about it other than I titled
That
it
it was
parking
called,
lot attack.
yeah.
This remember my last parking lot attack dream where I wasn't attacked. I was about to be attacked and I was like talking to the would be attacker. I
Oh yes, yeah.
was like, listen, you don't want to do this, man. But yeah, that didn't happen in this other one. I was attacked, and I don't remember how I was attacked. But
I mean,
that's all I remember
is
from
that
that
it?
one. Yeah.
Attacked in a parking lot.
Yep. I don't remember the nature of the attack or what I did or what else. That was it.
Jeez.
I just remember it being
Okay.
I was unsuccessful in protecting myself.
Oh,
Poor me.
well, you were successful in the last one.
Yeah. I talked my way out of it.
Yeah, you even talked him into waiting for the police to get there
Yep.
so that he could be, which is wild. You're like, hey man, It's time you get your life back on track. It's going to start with you going to jail. But, hey, it is what it is. And he was like, that's what's up. Oh. Well, in that case, I guess we've done it.
We did it.
We need to move on to
Recommendations.
recommendations. Recommendations. Oh no, never mind. Cut that out. Um, I don't like that I said that way.
I think I'll keep it in. I'll go first.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna recommend a book that I read recently called Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree.
Oh.
This is like a comfort read, and it was my first time ever reading a book that's like a comfort read book, like specifically for comfort. It, it's the way it sells itself is it says it's a novel of high fantasy, so it's set in like a D&D world. So it's a novel of high fantasy and low stakes. That's how it like sells itself.
Ah.
Uh, a
Okay.
female orc who has been part of an adventuring party for quite some time. And at the very beginning of the book, she is just finishing up her last adventure with her long time adventuring party. And she's got a new goal set into motion in the very beginning, which is opening up her own coffee shop, like a literal coffee shop.
Oh, nice.
So it's a nice little heartwarming tale of a retired orc who opens her own coffee shop, um, builds it up, makes a bunch of friends in the process. One of them including a randomly appearing floating giant cat.
Oh, the Cheshire Cat. Cool.
Yeah, pretty much. Um, so yeah, it's really heartwarming. A really heartwarming read. So if you're in the mood for heartwarming, cozy, and you're also into fantasy, especially D&D, D&D player would appreciate the nods to D&D in this book. Check it out, Legends and Lattes. And there's also, I don't know how many spin-offs there are, but there's at least one that I also got, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if there's any more, but it's called, I haven't
Okay.
read it yet, but Bookshops and Bone Dust. It's set in the
Oh.
same world, and it's like a precursor to Legends and Lattes. So I really should have read that one first, I think, but oh well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends. Is it a prequel or is it, did it actually come out before that one,
It's a prequel. It didn't come out before.
Oh, well then, yeah, you're fine to read it out of order like that. Second one and then, or, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Damn it. But you saying that actually made me hard pivot on what my recommendation's going to be, and reminded me that I came up with an idea for a another D&D character um, that
Mm.
I'll tell you about a little bit later. But so my hard pivot, I was gonna recommend a movie, but I'm gonna recommend a podcast. Um, it's one of the I recently actually just started listening to it a second time, and it's one of the few podcasts that I listen a full story over several episodes. Where it's like because for a while I was listening to like short stories or like um real life things, you know.
Yeah.
But this is a fiction podcast called Alice Isn't Dead.
Hmm.
It was created by the same people that did Welcome to Night Vale, which is supposed to be like a whole nother podcast that is supposed to be really fantastic.
Yeah.
And it centers around this woman who's driving a truck, and she's talking about a lot of the things that she sees throughout her travels, and the whole time she's making this tape that she's recording for Alice, who was supposed to be dead. Um,
Hmm.
it was her girlfriend back in a while back, and she was supposed to be dead. And then after a while, there was a thing that was on the news, and she saw Alice during the newscast in the background as like one of the people, the onlookers of this accident that
Ooh.
happened. And so she's going to try and figure it out. But it's very supernatural thriller, um, very weird and gory and just fantastic in all ways.
Oh. What's the name of it again?
It's called Alice Isn't Dead.
Okay.
It's a fairly short podcast. It's I don't know. It's not even 100 episodes,
Okay.
so
It sounds
it's good though.
interesting.
Yeah, and each episode is only like 25 minutes.
We may have to listen to it.
It's good. I liked it a lot. But that's my recommendation.
Nice. So check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
We
The
did.
Funk Show Brother.
No.
No? Okay.
No. No.
All right.
It's in my head now.
Well, we've done it
We did it.
once again.
We've done it.
And now to retire to nighttime.
Hit us with the outro, Dustin.
Da da da.
Thank you, Little Dreamers, for listening.
Little Dreamers is our $5 Patreon subscription tier.
Listen to us on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts until 2024,
Thanks for that, Google.
Sirius, Pandora, and YouTube, with YouTube Music and Apple Podcasts coming soon.
You can find us on our socials at TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, anywhere else that you think of social media.
Also, email us your dreams at whatmdreams@gmail.com so that we can hear from some of
what you have dreamt about. And, we might judge you harshly. I don't know. We'll see.
We will, but also it'll be fun, so it's cool. Thank you again for listening. Bye.
Bye. Forever.
No, never.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, I came up with a D&D character, and I don't know what I was thinking about when it popped up into my head, but I was thinking about being a goblin, right?
Okay.
And then being a smaller goblin that doesn't really hang out with goblins. He's he's pretty nice guy mostly.
Okay.
And his name is Orc Dick.